The Bronco Sport is an awesome little package for looking cool, fitting in tight spaces, and doing some legitimate off-roading, especially here in this Heritage Limited trim. But unfortunately, those off-road oriented attributes and this fairly powerful 2-liter turbocharged engine don't equal very good fuel economy numbers. So let's go hop out on the highway and see what sort of realistic fuel economy you can expect cruising here in the Bronco Sport Heritage Limited. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Tonight we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2023 Ford Bronco Sport 2-liter Heritage Limited, which I think would also apply to the Badlands trim. In this test, we're going to head out on the highway and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour, to get you a realistic fuel economy number for this compact crossover. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. This is one of the coolest looking cars on the market for under $50,000. This Bronco Sport Heritage looks so cool. In fact, the other day, a full-size Bronco from the 60s pulled up next to me, and it looked exactly the same as this. It had so many similar attributes and colors and everything. So if you do want to see more on the Bronco Sport, check the link in the description. We've got a whole normal review, some off-roading content, sound system test on the binaural sound system. All of that will be linked below. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives this Bronco Sport 26 miles per gallon, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. We know there are plenty of people who use their cars for longer road trips and would like to know what sort of numbers you can realistically expect cruising along here in the real world. So in order to test that out, we're going to head over to the gas station here, fill up, go out and do 100 miles, come back, fill it up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. Now, a few things to note for today. Outside temperature is currently 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Our tire pressures have been set to their door placard PSI, and we're going to run the climate control at 73 degrees auto. All right, let's hop out and fill it up. 3.308 gallons going in for our first fill. And before we start the engine, we're going to reset the GPS and the vehicle's trip computer, and we're ready to begin. We do have a few different drive modes here in the Bronco Sport. We've got normal, eco, sport, slippery, sand, what is it? I don't have them all memorized. Mud and ruts, sand, and rock crawl. We're going to be doing this test in eco. We're going to take it nice and easy over to the highway. It's about 0.2 miles away, and pick up the test from there. Now, the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to squeeze the best possible result out of the Bronco Sport here, but rather get a realistic figure. So in order to do that, we're going to get up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace, and we're going to set our cruise control to a GPS indicated 71 miles per hour. That should give us a 70 mile per hour average over the whole test. Getting up to speed, traffic seems to be flowing nicely. I was impressed to find double pane glass here on the Bronco Sport, at least in this Heritage Limited trim, I should say. However, I was disappointed to not find wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so trade-offs. We do have Ford Copilot 360, and that gives us a pretty competent active lane keeping system. It's not full-fledged Ford Blue Cruise, but it should give us kind of nice lane following throughout our drive, so we'll be sure to report back on that. And we're probably going to hear a little bit more road noise out of these all-terrain tires than we would on a more pedestrian trim, but the trade-offs you get for off-roading ability is going to be worth it to some people. Okay, settling in here, looks like the car's speedometer reads about 1 mile per hour high. We're going to continue the test and catch up on with you at the end. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the Bronco Sport Heritage Limited. Not fantastic fuel economy, 28 MPG, although I do suppose we're beating EPA by 2 MPG according to the vehicle's trip readout, so that's something. RPM sit right at 2,000 at about 70 miles per hour, 71 miles per hour, I suppose. It's not particularly quiet in here. You do notice the road noise and a little bit of wind noise as well. You don't really hear anything from the engine, even when it's going uphill. But it's not loud enough and it's not frequency that it's really going to bother people. I don't think it's just kind of there. I think it's about adequate for the class. Other than that, the active lane keeping did work quite well, so that made the drive easy. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a slowdown here. Pay attention. Seat comfort's been good. Yeah, I've got no complaints, but it does look like we are going to lose our average speed a little bit here because we are still a few miles from our exit and we seem to be slowing way down. That's unfortunate, even at 9 o'clock at night here. But we're going to get it back to the pump. Hopefully we can keep our speed at about 69, 68 mile per hour average and see what sort of numbers we get. 3.451 gallons going in for our final fill. 100 miles traveled divided by 3.451 is giving us 28.9 MPG. What was the car reading out? Did it get above 28? I think it's 27.9. EPA is 26. I think we're gonna go. We're gonna round down on this one. We're gonna give it 28 MPG. Still pretty good. Still better than EPA. A little closer to the vehicle's trip readout, and I'd rather err a little bit on this conservative side there. Then at least you have a better chance of actually achieving that number here in the real world. Now we've got a 16-gallon fuel tank in here, so 16 times that 28 miles per gallon is giving you an effective highway cruising range of 440 miles here in the Bronco Sport 2-liter turbo. Now, I thought there would be different readouts for the kind of more off-road focused versions of the Bronco, but I guess maybe all of those have the 2-liter turbo. Maybe that's all exclusive. So, yeah. Now, there are definitely cars that you can get with off-road chops in this class that are going to do a little bit better in fuel economy, especially in the mixed driving fuel economy. But hey, this 2-liter turbo does seem to be pretty efficient when just cooking along at highway speeds. We regularly saw better than EPA numbers on our Ford Maverick 2-liter as well. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on this very blue Bronco Sport, check the link in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.